not doing a pull over here. There's a guy out. Oh, good morning. You know, you gotta go eat breakfast. Can't forget about you, Miss Ma'ams. Let's go get you guys some breakfast. Start the day. We got the castle fed, and please don't be loud. Get a little closer right there. Oh, I touched it. Oh no. Man, I gotta get rid of some of this stuff. Back to what I was saying before I forgot. How much money I've spent on this pickup truck, and try to help you guys maybe not make the same mistakes that I did with either the engine build or the transmission build or anything like that, so you don't have to rebuy certain parts over and over again like I have, and go do that. So what's difficult about doing like the first person thing is that I'm a little bit taller. I'm like 6 foot, 6'1", right around there, and for me to sit upright, you guys are going to be looking like up here. So for those you don't know, this truck originally came with a 5.3. It was cammed. I blew that up, and then I bought a 6.0's LQ9, and I had that LQ9 bored 30 over with forged pistons and rods. They polished the crank. All the work was done by TEC, Total Engine Concepts. Has a comp cam. It's not a stage 1, stage 2, no stage cam. It's a 235, 243 cam. I had it spec'd out for the build for what I was going for, kind of more of street, but an aggressive cam. And it's a 6-liter style cam. 4 cathedral port, that's what this engine has because of the 799s. But I'm looking it up and it's doing good. It revs to, it makes power to about 7,000. This was dynoed before. It made 386 at like 4,500 RPMs, 4,000 RPMs, and it made 386 at 7,000 RPMs. So something happened in the transmission at the time. This wasn't an RPM transmission then. It was a local builder. It made the same amount of power for a few thousand RPM. So it makes more than 386, but I don't know exactly what. It maybe makes 405, maybe makes 390. I don't know what it exactly makes, but it does move out pretty good for this build. It's 6-liter. I guess technically it's a 6.1 from boring 30 thousandths over. Cost was, I can try to find the labor cost. I don't remember off the top of my head. I can try to look for some notes that I had. So motor's built, RPM transmission, built this transmission. It is a level 5. It's supposedly supposed to hold up to 1,000 horsepower. I don't make nearly that much, but the shifts are pretty crisp, and it has held up for over a year now. And all the other transmissions I had were about 6 months long. In the rear, I have Richmond gears, and they're a 390 gear. The locker is an Eaton trutrac posi. So that's the rear end. All the axles, it's stock axles. I redid all the bearings on them when I redid the rear. I guess a pretty simple build. It's a cam. There's 799 heads with the Trinion upgrade, or Trinion. It's a built motor, except that has a stock crank. And where I was going was I didn't need aftermarket crank. I probably could have bought one, probably should have bought one. It was, at that point, it was only a couple of $100 more, maybe $1,000 more just to buy the crank. But like I said before, it is a polished crank. They are forged pistons and rods. It's Weisco Pistons and Eagle rods, polished crank. 799 heads. It has a Trailblazer SS intake with 1000cc FIC injectors, single Walpole 450 fuel pump, and stock fuel lines, dedicated EAU5 for the last 3 years so far, 2.5 years. upgrade the lines eventually. So for the exterior, the rear end has a roll pan, which you delete the bumper, and they're about $100, and it saves a good bit of weight back there, and also I personally think they look cleaner. The headlights, they're from Amazon. I got them on for, I think it was a Christmas present or birthday present from TJ and Raquel. And if you guys don't follow her channel, make sure you guys follow her stuff. She's awesome. Taillights, they're also from Amazon, but those are just like a smoked out black taillight. You can still see the taillights really well, even during the daytime. I like those. I just like the kind of the white and black look, except now I have polished aluminum wheels, so I guess I changed the way I wanted to have my look. The wheels are a Bogart Racing wheel. They're 20x7 with a custom offset. I don't know what they are. I just sent Bogart some specifications, and they offset the wheel to clear the 2020 front brakes. And then the rear is the 15x10 off-the-shelf wheel. And this thing is in need of some tires. I ran through the Hoosiers already just because I'm driving them on the streets, and well, I'm not doing a pull over here. There's a cop. Oh my God, I don't know if you guys can see that, but that thing was leaving tracks. I don't know why I did a pull there. That wasn't a good idea. Man, back to my stories, because these are 295 5515s, and they hooked up great for like the first month, and I use them on the streets. They're the Hoosiers DOTs. When I bought them, I thought they were the DOT street legal tire. They're not. They are for a class, and I made that mistake of buying them. So you can make the mistake of not buying them for the street, and maybe it wasn't a mistake. Maybe that's not the right word. But I now bought a Mickey Thompson. They were supposed to be delivered a couple days ago, and then I wasn't home, so I had them delivered to FedEx, and now I have to go pick them up whenever they get there, because I changed delivery options, so now I have to do that. The fronts are 245 45 20, and they're some Nittos. I forget what brand they were, but they're Nitto, maybe something. Hey, there's more officers, more things to not mess around with. And let's see, the front bumper that everyone tells me to paint, that eventually one day I might paint, or maybe someone would say, hey Cody, hey Sisk, well, let me paint that bumper for you. But until I actually do that, it's never gonna paint. It's just gonna be black. I do like the SS front bumpers, which is a nice touch, but sorry dude, can't go. And it has a front balance on there, which I've cracked a couple times because the truck's lower and you hit one good bump or pull into some parking space or just a little too close, hits the parking curb, snaps. Probably don't need it. I just like the way it looks. I also have a set of fog lights on the truck for the exterior type mods. How much? But I'm assuming maybe about 15 grand, maybe 20 grand. I picked the truck up, I want to say it was for 5 grand. So altogether, I probably got about 20-25 grand into this truck with the cost. My pops is big into cars. My brother's big into cars. My whole family really is big into cars builds. Leave a comment down and make a video on that, or I'll have him make the video and send it over to me. But he's got a few Camaros, a Rambler. He can dive in more on all the build breakdown stuff. He has some cool motors. One of his cars has a DZ motor in that, for those of you know, old small block Chevy type stuff. Well guys, thanks for watching. I'm pretty sure that I'm way more invested in this truck than I could probably ever sell it for, but I don't really ever want to sell this thing. I don't ever have the intention to sell it. I just honestly really just enjoy this truck so much, man. Yo girl. She's a good looking truck. I mean, I know it's my truck, but she's a good looking truck. Well guys, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. See you guys later. After all that, I made my video and you guys haven't
Love you guys. See ya.